Hello and welcome to Brewers Daily, part of the Fan Arch Podcast Network. This episode is brought to you by Kalshi. Use promo code FANARCHBASEBALL to get $10 when you trade 10. I'm Dave Gasper here on a Tuesday show. Milwaukee Brewers coming off a dud there in San Francisco to start their series. But also, again, we are approaching the trade deadline here. I want to talk about some untouchable prospects here for the Brewers. Also, the draft signing deadline came and went. We'll talk about what happened there with the crew. But this game in San Francisco first here, Brewers lose 3-0 to the Giants. Brandon Sproat gave up all 3 runs, but it goes down as a quality start for him. He did complete 6 innings, giving up 3 runs or fewer. It's a quality start. He had a pair of pickoffs in there as well. Really nasty pickoff move from Brandon Sproat. So some positives there. Also, first batter of the game, Brandon Sproat struck out Luis Arraez, and he got him to swing and miss on all 3 pitches. 3 whiffs from Luis Arraez in 1 at-bat. That is the first time that has happened all season. And only like 5 times in Arraez's entire career. Okay? This dude is a contact machine. He will foul off pitches. He will put balls in play. He does not strike out in general. But to not only strike him out to start the game, but to get him to swing and miss completely 3 times in that at-bat is insanely impressive. And that is where, like, you see the talent and potential for Brandon Sproat. You see what the Brewers are looking at there, why they targeted him in that Freddie Peralta trade, why they believe in him, why they continue to put him out there on the mound, because the ingredients are there. But then you also see, as the start goes on, he struggles with command a little bit, not quite able to stay in sync, and ends up giving up a couple of runs, giving up some contact, gives up a homer as well. So it's frustrating there. It was kind of an odd start for Brandon Sproat because you did have a whole bunch of really bright spots, really good moments, but you had some puzzling, like what is going on with him right now, where he just kind of seemed to lose it for a little bit. So that is a bit of a bummer, but look, when you only get 3 hits all night and they're all singles and you score 0 runs, it doesn't matter how well Brandon Sproat pitched, you're not winning that game. Tyler Mahle completely shut down the Brewers offense. The rest of the Giants bullpen shut them down as well. They just could not get anything going, and it was just a dud of a game there from the Brewers offense. The few runners that they did get on, they hit into double plays, 3 double plays on the night for the Brewers, so it's just, look, first game of West Coast trip, just kind of a stinker, flush it, move on, get ready for the next one here against San Francisco. But okay, so now, trade deadline coming up here, August 3rd. Coming up fast. We're going to see things start to move here pretty quickly in Major League Baseball. But when we're talking about what the Brewers are going to be buying, okay, because the Brewers are a first-place team, they are going to be buyers here. Reports are they're going to be aggressive, okay, that they're going to be looking for, like some sort of big fish out there. But then Matt Arnold says we're going to add responsibly, which sounds like not a big fish, not aggressive. So what are they ultimately going to end up doing? We'll end up finding out here over the next couple of days. But when you're buying, that means you're generally trading away prospects. And the Brewers hate doing that. They don't like giving away a ton of prospects. But they have to be willing and open to trade just about any of them in order to get the right player. We've seen them be willing to trade prospects before, but it's for the right player. Someone controllable, someone long-term. But still, I think that there are going to be some largely untouchables here for the Brewers. Now, if you ask Matt Arnold, he's going to say no one is untouchable, right? They'll have a conversation on just about anyone. But for especially the purposes of this trade deadline, I think there are 3 untouchable Brewers prospects. Now, we are not going to count Cooper Pratt or Luis Lara in this because they are already signed to extensions. They are already up on the big league club. So that I'm just kind of cutting them from the prospect list, taking them out of consideration entirely because they're already locked in. They're already kind of baked into the big league roster. So we're just kind of removing them from that equation here. So outside of Pratt and Lara, who are the untouchable Brewers prospects? I have 3 of them right now. that I'm not moving for anybody. Number one, this is not going to surprise anyone, Jesus Made. Made is staying in this organization. There is no one out there in this trade market that is worth giving up Jesus Made. Okay? The best player out there is Tarek Skubal, and Skubal is a rental that's only going to be here for 2 months. So you're not giving up the number one prospect in all of baseball for that. If you were going to be getting 2.5 years of Tarek Skubal, then Jesus Made might be in play. But you're not. You're getting 2 months of Tarek Skubal, so Jesus Made off limits. Anyone else, even the controllable guys, even like a Mason Miller, whoever else, Jesus Made off limits, untouchable. He is not going anywhere. He is staying in this organization. That's untouchable prospect number one. Untouchable prospect number two, I'm not going with Luis Pena. I'm going with Josh Adamczewski. Okay? Adamczewski has been absolutely electric as a hitter here, and just continuing to impress the organization, continuing to move up. I mean, it is a potential like really plus hit tool here. He has moved up to AA and just continued to rake. He's hitting .315 overall on the season with a .986 OPS. In AA itself, he's hitting .292 with a .907 OPS, 9 doubles, 5 homers. He has been incredible. In high A, he was putting up even better numbers, hitting .331, 1036 OPS, 11 doubles, 9 homers. Josh Adamczewski is a budding star here. He was drafted as a middle infielder, shortstop, second baseman. He's been pushed to the outfield just with the sheer amount of infield depth that the Brewers have. But Adamczewski, I am not moving for anyone. With the way that the Brewers found him as a late round pick, as a 15th rounder in 2023, the way that they have developed him, Josh Adamczewski, to me, he's got to stay put. He is untouchable. I don't care what other teams are offering you. I'm holding on to Josh Adamczewski. And my last untouchable here, my third and final one, might surprise you. It is a corner infielder for the Biloxi Shuckers. But to me, it's not Andrew Fisher. It's Blake Burke. Blake Burke has put on an absolute show here in AA Biloxi. I think he's ready for AAA Nashville. But Blake Burke, who just won Southern League Player of the Week, just absolutely destroyed the Chattanooga Lookouts pitching staff. But he has 22 doubles on the season, 26 home runs, 24 stolen bases. Now, I'm not sure he's going to be stealing 20 plus bases in the major leagues, but still, as a first baseman at 6'3", 240, to have enough speed to be able to steal 24 bases, even at AA, even with whatever pickoff rules they have, that is quite the combo. He's hitting .274, 362 on base, 598 slugging. He's got a 960 OPS, okay? So he is putting up insanely good numbers in the pitcher-friendly Southern League. Okay, he is almost right there on pace with Andrew Fisher in terms of home runs. But here's the thing. His strikeout rate is 10% lower than Andrew Fisher's. Andrew Fisher is at a 33% strikeout rate in AA. Blake Burke, who has been at AA all season, is at a 23% strikeout rate, which tells me that I think Burke's success here is going to be a bit more sustainable as he moves up to AAA and the major league level. That he is going to be able to make enough contact to tap into this power on a more consistent basis. Andrew Fisher, yes, so 32 home runs are fantastic and very nice, and you love to see them. They're absolute moonshots. But that strikeout rate is still something that is a pretty strong indicator of whether or not a player is going to be successful at the big league level. Because doing it at high A, doing it in AA even, is a lot different than doing it in the major leagues. So, to me, Blake Burke is someone I am keeping 100%. I know he has a positional versatility of only first base. He's a first base DH, just that's what he is. But I think he can be that legit answer at first base. And he does not get near enough hype for what he is as a prospect, for what he brings power-wise, for what he brings in terms of contact skills, and just the pure bat to ball there, and the speed as well, completely underrated. So Blake Burke is my third and final untouchable prospect there. Jesus Made, Josh Adamczewski, Blake Burke. I am not moving those three when it comes to this trade deadline. All right. So wanted to kind of get those guys lined up there. But look, trade deadline, a lot of things are going to be happening here. We still got some games to play, though, as well. And you can trade every single game on Kalshi as you can throughout the season. You guys know. But look, Brewers not obviously doing well. Didn't get any runs going here against the Giants in this first game. But when it comes to this next one here, maybe the Brewers will have something a little bit different. Maybe they'll be feeling a little bit more settled into being out on the West Coast. I mean, sometimes you get a late flight, got the time change, 2 hours there, changes some things up. But I think the Brewers are going to bounce back, and they're going to be able to get a win here. The Brewers currently trading at a 54% chance to win this game against the Giants here today. That means a $100 trade pays out $180 with a win. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use promo code FANARCHBASEBALL to get $10 when you trade 10, Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. Okay, so the draft signing deadline has come and gone on Monday, and the Milwaukee Brewers were not able to sign their fifth-round pick, Aiden Knack, out of Clemson. That means that they lost the bonus pool money that came associated with that pick in the the area of $425,000. Now, according to some reports I've seen out there, the Brewers and Knack did have kind of a pre-draft agreement, a number that they had in mind that was a little bit below slot, where the Brewers could get some savings on that to use on their later round draft picks. But as things kind of went, Knack and his agent went back to Clemson. They kind of renegotiated and talked about some things there, and it looks like Knack is going to be getting a pretty sweet NIL deal to return to Clemson for his senior season. Now, he does have 2 years of eligibility remaining, despite him coming back for his fourth year, because college eligibility is all out of sorts and out the window. The NCAA has lost complete control over there. But basically, Knack gets 5 years, so he's coming back for his fourth year, and will return to Clemson, and he's getting a nice chunk of change in NIL, I'm sure. According to Aiden Knack's father, he decided to return to Clemson. He has made significant changes to his mechanics and is excited for the opportunity to return and compete again at this level. So, look, he made some changes, but the Milwaukee Brewers are an organization known for developing pitching. So, I mean, that's probably about as good a spot as you could go in pro ball, but hey, he made that decision, and he's going to go back for his senior year, and he's betting on himself. He's taken a pretty solid guaranteed payday over there in NIL, I'm sure, and seeing if he can improve that draft stock heading into the next season. But also, keep in mind, you will be a college senior at that point, and the leverage continues to go down the more you go there. So, look, he wants to make those changes. His season this year for Clemson didn't go the way that he wanted, 5.81 ERA. So he's probably thinking, look, if I can come back and have a much better season, I can get myself a much better draft position and overall better signing bonus. So, I mean, that's the choice he made, and that cost the Brewers quite a bit in their bonus pool money. Now, they did ultimately end up signing a couple of their rounds 11 through 20 picks there, and kind of like I expected, they did sign 2 of the 4 that remained in that high school crop. They signed Carson Hart, the outfielder there, out of Minnesota, and the Brewers then also signed their 15th round pick, Keaton Majorana, out of the Colorado prep ranks, and they signed him to basically all the money that they had left. I think going with their 5% overage, like the maximum you can spend, They had about $5,000 left over. They did not have much more to give, but they gave everything that they could there to Carson Hart and Keaton Majorana. So they signed the 13th rounder and 15th rounder. 14th round pick Dante Bell II does not sign. 16th rounder Braden Havard does not sign. So you have three players you don't sign from this draft: Aiden Knack, Dante Bell, Braden Havard. But the Brewers do get in the outfielder from Mankato East, Carson Hart, and the right-handed pitcher from Mountain Vista High School in Colorado, Keaton Majorana. Majorana is going to be a very fun pitching lab project. Throws 96, got a 3,000 RPM breaking ball. That's what the Brewers are known for having success with, and they're going to get him in the lab, and he could be that next very projectable arm, especially at 6'5" and 220 pounds. Keep an eye on Majorana in the coming years here. Okay, and finally, just to kind of wrap things up, the Brewers did officially announce on Monday that Lance McCullers Jr. has been released. Now, he was designated for assignment over the weekend, and then it's like, okay, he goes through the waiver wire process. No one claimed him, and McCullers has officially been released. He is a free agent and able to sign anywhere, so it is likely only a matter of time until the Chicago Cubs pick him up off the scrap heap, because they've been doing that to literally every other Brewers pitcher out there. The Brewers throw Jake Woodford on the scrap heap, Chicago Cubs, we'll pick him up. I mean, they're just going one by one. Every single guy that the Brewers put out there, the Cubs are like, we'll pick him up and we'll try and decipher this Brewers magic that they have over there. So that's kind of the end of the story there for McCullers. You make the trade for him. He only makes a handful of appearances. He's here for less than 2 weeks, and that's again, it's just a further sign that Colton Gordon was really the prize in that trade. That's what the Brewers were really trying to get, that long-term potential depth piece for the rotation with Gordon, with his 5 years of team control. So that's what was on their mind. Lance McCullers, they just kind of took on, try and bridge the gap a little bit here until they got some of these guys back, and now he's officially out the door. So best of luck to Lance McCullers Jr. Hopefully he latches on somewhere. Hopefully it's not the Cubs. Tired of seeing them pick up all the scrap heap guys. Wouldn't surprise me if the Houston Astros, brought him back in. But still, it's a tough one to see him, end up getting let go there, because he seemed like a great dude. He really did. But that last outing just did not go well enough, and the Brewers had to make a change there. So Brewers hoping to make a change and get some runs on the board this time around in this game coming up here tonight against San Francisco. Again, it's going to be another late one out on the West Coast. Logan Henderson on the bump for the Crew. Landon Roop on the mound for San Francisco. Should be a fun one there. Brewers hoping to get back on track. But we'll be breaking it all down here on Brewers Daily, so be sure to subscribe and get notified if you have not already. Follow me on X at dgasper24. Appreciate all of you watching and listening, and we'll see you again next time for another episode of Brewers Daily.